guys, it's Renee and I'm here to do some real talk. And tonight I would like to speak about narcissistic relationships and the red flags, and what to look out for and stuff like that. So, basically, the first thing we need to talk about is what is a narcissistic person. And I would like for all of you to actually go to google.com and actually Google it to see the full description of what a narcissistic person. But I'll give you a quick description of what a narcissistic person is. It is somebody that is not capable of loving another person. It is somebody that is emotionally detached from people. They're very self-absorbed. They only care about themselves. They think that they are better than you. They think that people owe them something. Typically, if you don't agree with a narcissistic person, they will have tantrums. You can't have your own opinion, or else they will lose their minds. So basically, just all in all, a narcissistic person is a very manipulative, they manipulate you, put it that way. They come across as charming. They usually say and in the beginning do whatever they think you want to hear. They typically go after people that are very caring, giving, loving, that kind of thing. They're usually people watchers, basically. So, like the people that if you ever go out and they're standing just watching people, they need to do that because they don't know how to act, because they feel no emotions. They don't know how it is to love another person. They don't know anything, actually. And I, for the longest time, couldn't grasp that, on how another person can't have any feelings, and stuff like that. So, that is what a narcissistic person is, and you can get a full description of it on google.com. But tonight I wanted to speak about narcissistic relationships and how it is when you're in a relationship, and hopefully maybe help people that might be going through the same thing know that they're not alone, and that there's many people out there that have experienced being in a narcissistic relationship. And for the lucky ones out there that never experienced being with a narcissistic person, thank the good Lord that you haven't experienced it, because it's it's like basically living in a nightmare. But tonight I wanted to talk about like the red flags that we actually all see, but probably ignore, especially when we meet somebody in the beginning of a relationship. But basically, in general, you should always listen to the red flags. I'm not saying that every person in the world that you see red flags from are narcissistic people. No. But you could basically learn very quickly who is narcissistic just by certain traits that they have. Usually everything is all about them, and them getting their own way. And you'll also notice that they act differently around their friends than around you. In the beginning, with a narcissistic person, they will love bomb you, which basically means this is like the honeymoon stage, where they're going to shower you with a lot of gifts or love notes, or they usually say in the beginning, oh my God, I never met a person like you. You're my soulmate. Or or something to that extent. Uh, Basically, they're putting that idea in your head because most of us in life are want to meet the right person. They want to meet their soulmate. They want to be loved. They want all of that stuff. So they actually know what to say. They're great manipulators. Um, and they say things that they know you want to hear. So we have to be aware of certain things. Oh, and a lot of the narcissistic people, they are liars. They love to lie. So pay attention to what they say to you, because usually you can catch them in lots of lies, especially in the beginning, because they might forget what they might say to you. And then they contradict themselves by when you happen to ask them the same thing and they tell you a whole different story. You're like, that's not adding up. So basically, it is extremely important in anything that you do that you actually listen to your gut. Your gut instinct will help you because it's there to protect you from bad people and bad stuff. It's like your gut always knows. And I always say to myself, oh my God, I should have listened to my gut. Because basically it's telling us things that we might not see, but we feel that it might not feel right. So basically, being in a narcissistic relationship will drain you, because the narcissistic people are looking for their narcissistic supply. So they will drain all your energy, okay? To the point where you are extremely exhausted and you just can't tolerate it. Like, you get to a point where you just want to pull your hair out of your head. So it's like dealing with a child that is having a tantrum, but they're an adult. So it's easier a lot of times just to give in, or you start walking on eggshells. And it's easier to just not argue with them and give them what they want, kind of thing. But most of the time, when you're in a narcissistic relationship, you don't know what's going on until it's too late, where you've been emotionally abused, emotionally and mentally abused, because they treat you like a piece of shit. They knock you down. Oh my God, the crap that they will say about you. They will never ever say anything nice about you, never give you a compliment, never say you're beautiful, or never say you're handsome, never say anything like that at all. It's really sad. Because, like, in a real relationship, somebody that actually truly loves you, they will lift you up. They want to see you succeed. But a narcissistic person, they will knock you down. It's like if you're trying to work on something that you believe in, they will knock it down and rip it apart and not want to see you succeed. They don't want to see you make your goals or whatever it is. They'll tear you down. But like I was saying before, in a real relationship, when you meet someone that truly loves you for you, they will not treat you like a piece of shit. They will be nice to you. They will treat you the way that you're supposed to be treated. So a lot of times, what the narcissistic person will do is, the reason why they knock you down so much is they are so afraid that you're going to leave the relationship. So they need to knock you down so you feel worthless and you feel like no one else in the world will want you, because they make you feel that way. In all actuality is that they're putting on you what they actually see about themselves. So they're putting that image onto you, and it has nothing to do with you, but they make it about you. It's really crazy. They're really sick in the head. Yeah, I have a little bit of headache, so don't mind me if I hold my head. But But that is what they do to you. It's so, they actually would love to see you go into a mental hospital, and it's like a game to them. It's like they want to make you lose your mind, because that's what basically what they do is like, finally, like, if we try to stick up for ourselves, they turn it around and you say, see, she's the crazy one, not me. Look what she's doing. Like, they know how to get underneath your skin and nitpick at you, and they know what to say, like underneath their breath or whisper in your ear, for you then to explode so people could think it's you and not them. Oh my God, what they do. It's like, it's just such manipulators. It's all a game to them. Whereas it's not a game to us. We're just trying to live our life, like, and be happy. I know I'm not looking to play any games. I was always taught you treat others the way you want to be treated. But when it comes to a narcissistic person, they can be very revengeful. They are an eye for an eye person. So when it comes time that you finally realize what was going on, that you finally realize, oh my God, I've been in a relationship with a narcissistic person, and you're trying to get out of this relationship. Well, you better be mentally prepared to leave this relationship, because they will do anything they possibly can to destroy you. They will say to anybody that will listen to you, they'll make up lies about you. They'll say whatever they possibly can. They will stalk you. They will show up at your job. They will call you 1,000 times once you decide to put them on the no contact, when you block them. They will do anything in their power to try to communicate with you. They will send you emails. They will call you, like they'll do the *67 and they'll still call you even though you're blocked. They will leave voicemails. They will do anything to knock you down. But they will eventually get the picture. But usually what happens is they end up finding somebody else, like their next victim. And then they're occupied with them, and then they'll eventually leave you alone. But most of them will, for the most part, leave you alone and come around, I don't know, every 6 months to try to bring you back. So just be careful about that also. But let's talk about what you need to do. Well, the first thing is like, you need to start working on yourself, and you need to get a game plan going, because I'm sure by this point, like, I'm sure you have friends that are tired of hearing about your relationship and what you've been through, and a lot of them will say, oh my God, like, you're the one who's allowing them to do this to you. And you'll be like, what do you mean that I'm allowing them? Because we stick up for it. Because I know in my case, like, I would be, yelling back and say, and I felt by me yelling back that I was sticking up for myself. But all in all, we, after thinking about it, yeah, we did allow them to do this, because we stayed in the relationship. We allowed them to treat us like a piece of shit instead of saying, buddy, there's the door, bye-bye, adios. We stayed in the relationship and continued to get abused. Okay? But most of us in this relationship did not even realize it until it was too late what was going on. We didn't realize we were in a relationship with a narcissistic person. We didn't realize that day in and day out we were getting emotionally, abused, until it was too late. And then you look back and you're like, what's happened to myself? Because it's like they drain you so much. What they put in your head, it's like, it's all games is what they do. So your head is spinning with all the mind games that they've done to you. So you don't know, you can't think straight anymore. It's like you second guess yourself. And then, like I was saying before, where your friends are tired of hearing about it. And, the truth is, most of your friends probably never been in a relationship with a narcissistic person and doesn't know what it is about. Because, lots of times I have heard, well, just do this and just do that. I'm like, hello, if it was that simple, I would have done it. I tried it. But you're not dealing with a normal person. When you're dealing with a normal person and you tell them, listen, hey, it's not working out. I'm not feeling it no more. I'm not happy. You're not happy. And you guys will go your own way. They're not going to be, it's not like a screw is loose in their head where they start stalking you and calling you 100 million times. It's easier said than done when a friend or a family member says to you, oh, just do this or just do that or call the cops. Not for nothing. The cops do shit. Unfortunately, half the cops, don't, I love cops. Don't get me wrong. They protect us. They're there for a reason. But when it comes to them dealing with emotional abused people that deal with narcissistic relationships, they have no clue about it. Okay? Because there was one time where the cops came to my house and they thought I was the crazy one because, we're people that feel emotion. So obviously we're going to be feeling what's going on. But the narcissistic person who has no emotions because they can't feel any emotions is sitting there with a poker face on, and they've already gotten under your skin and did whatever they did, and you're trying to get away from them and they won't leave, and they make you seem like you're the crazy one. You're not the crazy one. And I really feel and I really believe that, and I hope that this will eventually happen, because I know that domestic violence in the world is actually crazy at this time, that it should not be like this, that the cops get more educated with these being in an emotional abusive relationships. Because you know what, even though you're emotionally abused and not physically abused, it can eventually turn into a physically abusive relationship. And they need to understand what it is when you're dealing with a narcissistic person. And they should see the signs of how someone that is a victim in a relationship. So, like I said, I support cops 100%. We need them in this world, and I'm very thankful for everything that they do for us. But when it comes to this, just in my experience, they don't do much for you because they're not allowed to do it. It's easier for them if you had a black eye or bruises from the other person to do something. But when you're getting mentally abused, there's no physical scars. Okay? So there's not much that they can do. But there should be easier laws set to help people that are in these kind of relationships that are trying so hard to get out and don't know what to do. So what do normal people do when they're in trouble? They're going to call the cops. But the cops, they don't do much for you. But hopefully, they will, figure out a way to help people that are calling them for help when they're dealing with it. But anyway, so when you're dealing with getting away from a narcissistic person, you also need to get, what is it? See, in order for you to get, order of protection against them, you need proof. So once you put them on no contact and stuff like that, you need to have proof that they're stalking you. So you need to set up some sort of camera or take pictures of them or record on your phone if they come to the house saying, get away, I told you not to come here anymore, and stuff like that, because you're going to need some sort of proof that a person is harassing you. So when you're ready to make the move, just know it's not going to be easy. So you want to get a game plan. They're going to make it very difficult for you. But if you have friends and family that are very supportive, that will help you, it will make it a lot easier. And also explain to your friends and family what this person is probably capable of doing. They might, say bad things about you, but if your friends know you and your family knows you and loves you, they're not going to believe a word that this narcissistic person is doing. Yes, I understand they're very charming and they know how to lie and make others believe them. But when it comes to your circle of friends and family, they know you and they will be on your side. So you have to get everything in order. You have to work on yourself first, though, because you need the strength. Because what's going to happen is if you don't have a plan and you take them off the no contact, it's just you're going to go in circles. It's going to be like, okay, you're going to be okay one day, then you're back together, and then you're breaking up again, you're fighting, he's he's treating you like shit again. It's like a cycle. He'll be nice to you for a day or two, to take you out to dinner or buy you flowers or say what you want to hear, and then bam, it's back to the way it used to be. So just what is, I know I keep saying that you need to work on yourself. What I'm getting at is that you need to know that you're worth it, that you don't deserve to be treated like a piece of shit. Who do they think they are to treat you like that? Nobody should treat you like that. You need to know that you're worth it, okay? And that your Mr. Right or your Mrs. Right is out there. And when you finally find someone that really truly loves you, they won't treat you like a piece of shit. They will be there to lift you up and be by your side and everything. And it's not going to be hard. It's going to be easy when you find that right person, because they're truly going to love you for you. But you need to love yourself first. You need to know that you're beautiful or you're handsome and you're worth it. And why in the world will you want to be with someone that doesn't love you, that doesn't feel any emotions, okay? That never loved you. I don't mean to be blunt, but a narcissistic person does not feel any emotions. They don't love you. They never loved you. No, they didn't. I know it's you don't want to believe it, but it's the truth. They do not love you, and you cannot help them. Nobody can help them but themselves. And guess what? They're narcissistic people. They don't think they need any help. They don't think there's anything wrong with them. So they will never be able to get any help, which is unfortunate. Because, do I feel bad for narcissistic people? Absolutely I do. Because a narcissistic person is usually a kid that was that has abandonment issues. Either the mother or the father or a parent figure or somebody left them, or they were abused as a child or had a traumatic experience when they were a child. So do I feel bad for someone that went through that? Absolutely I do. But don't take it the wrong way, because you know what? That's what they do. They look for people to feel bad for them so then they could take advantage and manipulate you. I'm not saying let anybody manipulate you, but it is, I do feel bad that they had to go through that as a child and they were just trying to numb their pain, and this is what happened in a result of them doing that for whatever happened to them, which is a shame. It's sad. Nobody should go through any traumatic experiences like that. But you don't let anybody take advantage of you. Well, I've been rambling on and on about this, and obviously you can see I'm very passionate about this. I just want to be able to take a negative situation that I have been in, and try to help others with it. And I know it's extremely difficult, and it's not going to be easy once you decide that you're going to leave a narcissistic. They're going to make your life a living hell. They're an eye for an eye type of person, and it's going to, but it's going to be worth it, because you're living a nightmare right now, and it might be a nightmare for a little bit longer, but there's a light at the end of the road, and your happiness is there. Once you finally get away from it, you are going to be able to live again. You can work on yourself, work on bettering yourself, and then you'll be able to learn from this experience and maybe help others, and actually, learn from the experience of being with a narcissistic person, which is the worst in the world. Many people that have dealt with narcissistic people actually are diagnosed with post-traumatic stress disorder, which is usually military people are diagnosed with that. And if you look up what the meaning of post-traumatic stress disorder is, it's not just for the military that's, been, fighting in the wars and stuff like that. It's for anybody that has been through any traumatic experience. And when you're with a narcissistic person and you're getting abused day in and day out, mentally abused, okay, it causes traumatic events. So, don't let anybody make fun. Oh, were you in the military? You were diagnosed with post-traumatic stress disorder? No. Okay? It can happen to other people, not just military people. And it's a shame for anybody that has to go through any traumatic experience. So, just because usually that's the first what people think about, usually. But just know there is help out there for you. There's a lot of great Facebook groups on there that help, people that have been in abusive narcissistic relationships. I'm here to help any way that I possibly can. If you have any questions or whatever, just feel free to send it to me, and I will help the best way that I can. Like, I'm not no doctor or anything. I just lived through it and still living through it, basically. But there is a light at the end of the tunnel. Just remember that. And you will be happy again. And your Mr. Right or your Mrs. Right will show you the proper way that you're supposed to be treated. But remember, you are worth it. And in order for anybody to love you, you need to love yourself first. So on that note, I'm going to say goodnight because I am very tired. But until tomorrow night, this is Real Talk. And anything else you would like to discuss or talk about or hear about, just let me know and I'll see what I can do. Okay, have a great night, everybody. Mwah.